covering all your local high school football games with highlights and scores. Now, Football Friday, brought to you by Alabama Credit Union.
Well, when they say there's nothing like Friday night, boy, I'm telling you what, they're not kidding. Good evening, I'm Gary Harris. Welcome into Week 2 of the high school football season and Week 3 of WVUA 23's Football Friday, presented by Alabama Credit Union. Visit alabamacu.com to learn more. Alabama Credit Union, loans for real life. Well, Football Friday is again an hour, and we have highlights from 18 high school football games for you this evening, plus our complete Football Friday high school scoreboard presented by Beulah Baptist Church, our Football Friday Band of the Week, our premier service company Outside the Huddle feature, recruiting tales around the SEC, and more. And we begin with our Watley Health Services Game of the Week.
Now, the Game of the Week, brought to you by Watley Health Services.
Boy, and it was a big one. Class 6A, Region 4 opener at Northridge between the Jags and the Yellow Jackets. This was an instant classic. Northridge, Mason Elam keeps 13-yard touchdown, 7-0. Jaguars on top early, and they would add to it. Elam, this time through the air, finds Andrew Espy. Terrific throw, great catch, better run. 53 yards later, it's 14-0. Could Northridge be building on a blowout? No, McAdory's too good. They come back. Darian Davis gets the 2-yard touchdown run. It's 14-7 Jags. In the second quarter, Yellow Jackets' Justin Patton then fights into the end zone for a 5-yard score. He drags would-be tacklers with him. It's 17-13 Northridge at this point. Third quarter, after chaos on the Yellow Jacket sideline, a coach got ejected, but the Yellow Jackets just kept coming in this one as they get a touchdown right here on the post. But this would be a game that, I'm telling you what, it was back and forth, but it's going to be Northridge that hangs on to get the win tonight. Huge. Okay, we got McAdory getting the win here. Let's go to the scoreboard here. And it's McAdory that comes from behind. We had the last report I had, Northridge was up, but it is McAdory storming from behind to win it 34-24. So, like we said, this was a crazy, crazy game. I was getting scores and videos in. The last time I saw it, Northridge was up, and McAdory proving again they may be the team to beat in Class 6A Region 4 as they come back on the road tonight and beat Northridge in a great game, 34-24, the final tonight. All right, let's keep it going with 6A Region 4 Central at Paul Bryant. DeMario Pippin, the Central head coach, and Kristen Jones, the Paul Bryant head coach, good friends. In fact, Jones was working for Pippin when he got the job at Paul Bryant. And this was an interesting game. Fourth down conversion. Tony Felton Jr. trying to find a wide receiver, but it's incomplete. Ball goes over on down. Central now with possession. Trayvon Hall is going to blast in for the touchdown. And the Falcons building their lead. They're up 28-0. Paul Bryant at this point has to go for it on fourth down. They're trying to get back in the game. And this time a flag is going to extend the possession for the Stampede. That's a penalty on Central. And on fourth and goal, the Stampede, though, is going to come up. Well, they get a first down right there. But it was not enough as Central gets the win tonight in shutout fashion. The Falcons are 3-0. They beat the Stampede tonight 35-0, the final. 7A Region 3 opener between Tuscaloosa County High School and Thompson over in Alabaster would be a long night for Wildcats head coach Chris Bell and the Wildcats. Opening kickoff, Thompson's Makai Billingsley catches it at about the 15, shows off some moves, cuts through the defense, and he is finally going to be caught at the County High 17-yard line. You give Thompson a short field to open the game, you know what they're going to do. They're going to finish it off. R.J. Evans from 8 yards out, 7-0 Warriors, and they were just getting started. Later in the first quarter, Thompson quarterback Trent Seaborn throws deep. Derek Kimbrough's on the other end for the diving catch. 21-0, Thompson is on top. Tuscaloosa County trying to make a game of it. They go to the air here, and Corey Kimball finds Kevion Williams for a big gain, 35 yards. The drive, though, stalls on 4th and 1. Kimball is swallowed up by Valami Maloa and others for the Thompson defense. The Warriors then go back to work when they get the ball, and it is Seaborn to Price Lewis. Watch that catch. He snatches it, and it's 38-yard TD. Thompson led 42-0 at the halftime, and they go on to cruise tonight over County High in Alabaster. 69-0 is that final score. The Warriors take down the Wildcats. 4A Region 4, American Christian at West Blocton. ACA is going to start the game off with the football, and their outstanding sophomore quarterback, Drew Jackson, is going to find receiver Davin Thornton down the left side. He cuts it back. He gone. 7-0. Patriots jump on top on the road. Next possession, though, for West Blocton. Quarterback Trey Lawley with a play-action pass to Cash Morris, who fights his way all the way down to about the 2-yard line. And then on the next play, running back Cooper Dearman punches it in to tie it up at 7-7. Now to the second quarter, ACA looking to make something happen, and it's Drew Jackson doing exactly that. He's going to find Anthony Leon wide open. That puts the Patriots back on top 14-7, and they go on to win it tonight. ACA gets the road win, big win for the Pats, 21-7, the final tonight in that game. 5A Region 3, Northside looks like they got a heck of a football team this year, and they hosted Montevallo, and the Rams, boy, it was all Northside all night long up in Samantha tonight. Rams started hot. Quarterback Jackson Rhodes, the receiver J.J. Case. He gets the catch and gets it into the end zone, 7-0. Rhodes had a big day against that Montevallo defense. Here he throws it to Bennett Greene, and the Rams are up 21-0 in the first quarter. You have the students and the cheerleaders enjoying it. Special teams also chipping in. Austin Keitlinger taking the punt, and he's just pretty much untouched down that left sideline. That made it 35-0, and Northside on the right end of a blowout. As we check out the final, Montevallo, no contest tonight for the Rams as Northside keeps on rolling. 56-0 is that final score. Well, all right, the action's been so hot. It's been hot so far on Football Friday, and we've really only just scratched the surface. Still to come, our Abby Award-winning and Emmy-nominated Outside the Huddle feature presented by Premier Service Company. But up next, the Hillcrest Patriots are off to a 2-0 start, but tonight, the Pats went up a notch in competition with their Class 7A Region 3 opener at Hoover. You don't want to miss it if you're a Hillcrest fan. Let me just tell you that right now. We got the highlights next on WVUA 23's Football Friday. All right, TA cheerleaders, welcome us back into Football Friday on WVUA 23. I'm Gary Harris. All right, we got a big one tonight in Class 7A Region 3 as the Hillcrest Patriots won their first two games, but tonight they went up a notch in region play at Hoover, at the Hoover Met. Let's go. Hoover's and Hillcrest, first region game of the year. Hillcrest going to get it going right here. I mean, they came to play tonight. They brought it. Touchdown right there, and the Patriots kept the pressure on. That's what you have to do when you're on the road. They built a 14-0 lead, and it's 22-3 now. Now the Bucks do come back at home. You expected this. Caleb Freeman gets it across to make it 22-10, 25-23 Pats in the fourth, and the Patriots, as Freeman gets it in right there, that's the touchdown for Hoover. And here comes the backbreaker right here. Hillcrest is going to put it away. They win it tonight. Let's check out the final. 34-26. This is a huge win for the Patriots. A huge win on the road in 7A Region 3. They go to 3-0 overall and 1-0 in the region. And remember, Hoover, not Thompson, is the defending region champion. Hoover won the region last year. Thompson won the state championship. So Hillcrest knocks off the region champs from a year ago. 6A Region 4, Brookwood hosting Bessemer City at beautiful Billy Joe Young Field. Gorgeous night for football. Brookwood comes out with a little pooch kick here, and they recover it. Great execution on the opening kickoff. But the momentum was short-lived as Bessemer City's Tristan Berry forces a fumble, and the Purple Tigers get the football. After that, Bessemer City got it going on offense. Vernon Slaughter finds Chinus Wilson in the flat, and he gets it across to make it 7-0. Early in the second quarter, running back Lamarian Gooden is going to punch it in. Gooden just will not be denied there. It's a 2-score lead, and Bessemer City continued to dominate the remainder of the contest as they grounded out a dominant early season victory. Checking out the final, Bessemer City 42 and Brookwood 14. But Brookwood did win last week over West Blocton, snapping a 20-game losing streak, but they fall tonight. That's the final score. Class 1A Region 3, Holy Spirit Catholic here in Tuscaloosa hosting R.C. Hatch. 8-0 Hatch right before half. Holy Spirit driving, and quarterback Charlie Strozier gets it out to John Anthony Armour, and he has got nothing but green grass in front of him. That's a great feeling right there if you're running the football. 8-6 the score after Holy Spirit could not get the 2-point conversion. Saints, well, here it is. Saints go for 2, but as I said, they do not get it as Strozier is sacked. Hatch now driving, direct snap to Jonathan Ross. He's going to get it across. The Bobcats extend their lead to 14-6, and Hatch decides they go for 2 every time. So Kieran Gamble finds Jahad Jackson to make it 16-6. And let's check out the final from tonight here in Tuscaloosa. R.C. Hatch gets the road win at Holy Spirit, 24-14, the final. The Macon-East Knights travel to North River Christian in AISA action. Now, again, North River Christian is extremely young, and they're playing a lot of 9th graders, and it's going to be a tough year for them. And it was a tough night. Macon-East gets a 34-yard pick 6 by John David Spires. That was already the 4th non-offensive touchdown of the night. And North River, again, when you're playing this many 9th graders, 10th graders against an established varsity team, unfortunately the result probably is predictable. There's an interception right there. And this one got away from North River Christian. Let's go ahead and check out the final. 82-0 the final. North River Christian has yet to score this season. But I will say this, they keep going out there, and, if you're in the 8th grade, 9th grade, next year you'll be a year older. But they're fighting, just not enough talent and experience on the field right now for the Chargers. ACA 8-man action. Alabama Christian Association, Tuscaloosa Christian hosting Columbus Christian out of Columbus, Mississippi. 8-0 Columbus, 1st and goal for the Rams, and quarterback Matthew Benge keeps it and punches it across. The try for 2 was good. It's 16-0 Columbus Christian. More from the visitors. Colby Hand calls his own number, and he's got some room to run right there. Rams go for 2. Benge, the quick run to the right, gets it across. It's 24-0. Columbus Christian went 5 for 5 on 2-point attempts in this one. Rams again on offense as they're trying to put this one away. Benge hands it off to Colby Hand. 20 yards to the house, made it 24-0. And Columbus continues to build on that lead in the first half. This time it's Welton Davis in the end zone, 32-0 early. And Tuscaloosa Christian trying to fight back, but not enough tonight. We check out the final. They go down at home over there in Cottondale. 60-20 is that final score. Well, we're going to take a timeout and hear from some of our great sponsors. But when we come back, we'll keep the highlights going with 8 more stops. That's right, 8 more games, including a 2A Region 5 showdown in Aliceville between the host Yellow Jackets and the Tuscaloosa Academy Knights. This was a heck of a football game. We'll have it for you next on Football Friday when we return.
We're the Brookwood High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Football Friday on WVUA 23 Sports. Go Panthers!
We are back, and we have 8 more games to get to, including this 2A Region 5 showdown in Aliceville between the host Yellow Jackets and the Tuscaloosa Academy Knights. Great atmosphere for football. Martin Norris for TA, man, this kid is so talented. He's going to find Mason Quarter, who makes a nice grab on the sideline for a first down. 3rd down, Norris drops back again. I mean, this is talent. Off his back foot, just flips his wrist. But he can't hold on. Bill David Wagner has it broken up by Aliceville. Field goal try is hooked. So it's no good, obviously. Yellow Jacket ball. To Colin Glass. Loads up and connects with Marcus Smith down the right sideline. 62-yard gain. Third down for Aliceville, and Glass is going to hand it off to Cavante Dedrick, who is going to bounce off and go around and get the score. TA, though, as they have had a knack for the last couple of years, was going to be down at half, but as we check out the final, they scored 20 second-half points and get past Aliceville on the road to go to 3-0. This TA team, I'm telling you what, they did it last year too. They find a way to win, and they are unbeaten on the season. Aliceville's got a good football team, but they come up a little short tonight. 3A Region 3, Wilcox-Central at Hale County down in Montevallo. We tracked down to Montevallo for this one. Hale County came out strong tonight, as they already kind of had this one in the fold when we got there. We'd gone to Greensboro first, 51-0 at halftime. And here comes more Hale County. Marcus Bryant finds the end zone. Early in the fourth quarter, Wilcox-Central shows some life as they get a play from the quarterback down the left sideline. And then that's what you got to like about high school football. We've seen some blowouts tonight, but we never see teams give up. Hale County defense, though, was not about to give up a score as they get the interception right here. Christian Williams comes up with a pick, and it's all Hale County tonight. In fact, they probably could have scored more, but they win it 59-0 over Wilcox-Central. So the Wildcats take care of Wilcox tonight. 2A Region 5, Lamar County at Greene County down in Utah. Greene County High School there with a nice sign. 13-6, around 5 minutes left. Lamar County getting pressure. Greene County quarterback Kella Snooty attempts to throw to Chance Richardson, but it's picked off by Jaquavius Long, and he's going to take it all the way. The pick six, a close game, that opened it up. That made it 19-6. Greene County trying to fight back. Snooty to Cornelius Hunter, who keeps his balance for a moment. Later in the drive, Snooty throws deep, and Richardson goes up and gets it. And that is a touchdown. As we check out the final, it was Lamar County, though, getting the win. That was a great play, though, for Greene County. 39-14, though, Lamar County goes to Utah and picks up the victory. All right, more 3A Region 3. Greensboro hosting Dallas County tonight. I told you we made the trek down Highway 69 South. Dallas County not having much happening in this one, but it was Greensboro early on. The Raiders on the move. And then the throw into the end zone. That made it 8-0 after the 2-point conversion. Greensboro on top. Dallas County answering. Kentrell Hamilton makes the catch, and you hear the horn go off, though. He is not able to get that play in before the half ended. And as we check out the final tonight down in Greensboro, big win for the home team as they get the victory tonight, 14-6. All right, over in Chelsea, 6A Region 3, Pelham at Chelsea. This one went right down to the wire. First drive for Chelsea following a Pelham interception. Morgan Barnes, corner of the end zone. Chelsea goes up 7-0. Ensuing drive for Pelham, Dylan Smith with the play action, and he's going to sling it to Marcus Arnold. He's behind the defense, 50-yard throw and catch, knotting the game up at 7. Chelsea looking to regain the lead. It was that kind of game tonight. Travion Spell. Somebody puts that hat on the ball, pops it up, and the Panthers defense has a takeaway. Second quarter now still 7-7, but Smith rolling left and finding Jacob Gibbs wide open. Out to practice early. As we say, 60-yard score. Pelham gets their first win of the season. We check out the final, 19-7. Pelham over Chelsea. Big win for the Panthers tonight. 6A Region 5, Mortimer Jordan at Homewood. And this one was going to be all Homewood tonight. You're going to see some highlights here as the Patriots led early and often. That's a nice play there by Mortimer Jordan to get an interception. But that would be kind of an outlier as the Patriots, that turnover, but that's not an ideal representation of how this game went. That's more like it right there if you're a Patriots fan. Touchdown right down the middle of the field. Wide receiver wide open. And then on the little receiver screen, again, yards after the catch, and Homewood rolls tonight as we go to the final score, 49-7, big win for the Patriots over Mortimer Jordan. All right, big showdown at Hewitt-Trussville tonight, 7A Region 3. Hewitt-Trussville hosting Vestavia. The Huskies Jack Floyd to Denarius Crawford, 7-0, Huskies go on top. Second quarter now, Vestavia ties it with a short run, just a power play there, and it's 7-7. But in the third quarter, the Huskies would get a little breathing room in this close game. Davakia Alston, I should say, just getting started the touchdown there, and then this is a long one. 70 yards, he turns on the Jets. Hewitt has the lead, and as we check out the final tonight, we will see that Hewitt-Trussville gets the win. Two good football teams there, but the Huskies top the Rebels 28-14. 6A Region 6, Pell City at Clay-Chalkville. The second-rate team in 6A hosting Pell City, also 2-0. Two-play 49-yard drive ends with a 49-yard strike to Corey Barber from Aaron Fry. And the Clay-Chalkville Cougs go up 7-0. The celebration didn't last long, though, because on the ensuing kickoff, Pell City's Darrell Wade hits the seam, and he is gone. 92 yards for the kickoff return to make it 7-7. Cougars, though, keep the pressure on. Joshua Woods on the carry. He gets down to the 5, and then inside the wood. Woods takes it in to make it 14-6. Chalkville, second quarter, we got another kickoff return. This is actually a punt return, it looks like. Caden Ferris punting, or actually on the receiving end of that punt for Clay-Chalkville, and 82-yard punt return. Turns on the speed. Cougars extend their lead, and they go on to get the victory tonight big over Pell City. That's why Clay-Chalkville's ranked number 2 in the state. 52-9 is that final score. All right, that's going to put a wrap on our high school highlights, but we still have much more to come, including a trip behind enemy lines and recruiting tales with Tighter Insider's Rodney Orr. But up next, if you're wondering how your favorite high school team did tonight, want to know more, we'll have the complete Football Friday scoreboard presented by Beulah Baptist Church. Friday Night Lights coming up on WVUA 23. Stay with us. Paul Bryant High School, our band of the week, the Beulah Baptist Church scoreboard. Let's get to it. Bibb County wins at Tarrant 49-20. Berry big over Marion County 68-42. Fayette County, big win on the road at Dora 56-27. A lot of points tonight. How about 73 for Gordo over Hansville 73-8. Oak Grove at home beats Holt tonight 35-13. Southern Academy gets nipped by a point by East Rankin Academy 29-28. It's Linden shutting out Pickens Academy 20-0. A forfeit by Summerton Christian. That goes down as a 1-0 win for the Pickens County Tornadoes as Summerton Christian forfeits tonight. Shelby County over Sipsey Valley 31-8. Herbertville beats South Lamar 64-33. Sulligent wins at Isabella 30-21. Nothing in on Thorsby at Sumter Central. It's Winfield winning at Midfield by 29. And University Charter in Livingston took down Red Bay 30-7. Oxford over Shades Valley 45-7. Helena wins at home over Chilton County 23-6. It was Jasper at Decatur. Jasper gets the win 48-13, and Hamilton wins at Cordova 41-20. Oakman big over Carbon Hill by 34, and Glencoe beats J.B. Pennington 34-21. And that's the complete Football Friday scoreboard, but we aren't done with high school football, because when we return, Bama Central's Joe Gaither will join me for high school football analysis, including an in-depth look at our game of the week. between McAdory and Northridge. It was a good one. Football Friday will return after this. I'm Gary Harris. Bama Central's Joe Gaither joins me for our high school football game of the week analysis. Joe, 2 weeks in a row, you got a really good game. Tonight, Northridge in the Class 6A Region 4 opener against McAdory. Northridge so close, not only to winning the game, but maybe to putting it away. But that's what happens when you play a really good team. McAdory hung around, and McAdory made the plays in the fourth quarter to come back and win it.
Yeah, I walked away feeling like I saw two good football teams. Northridge jumped out to a 14-0 lead and held a 17-13 lead at halftime. Unfortunately, the McAdory defense started to find their footing. McAdory forced 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions. They forced a fumble that they didn't recover really when Northridge was trying to drive to retake the lead. So a lot of credit to McAdory for digging in and finding a way to get it done, because 20 unanswered points after Northridge went up 24-13. So it kind of looked like there was a 9-point swing. Northridge was going to hold on and win the region matchup, but McAdory dug back in and got it done. Yeah, Joe, you can see that McAdory, and Central strong too, but McAdory probably the team to beat in 6A Region 4, and you can see the improvement Northridge has made. But it's one thing to play these kind of games and play them close. Getting over the hump can be tough. Yeah, absolutely. McAdory's athletes were really explosive on the edge. You had Justin Patton playing quarterback, who was getting out on the edge, and he ended up with a rushing and a passing touchdown in the game. Really, what the point of the game that changed everything, it was 4th and 1. McAdory decided to go for it right at midfield. It bottled up kind of into a big pile, and Jeremiah Ware squirted out 65 yards for a touchdown, and that kind of ended the game. Yeah, 15 seconds, so huge win for Hillcrest tonight at Hoover. Absolutely. Yeah, what a surprise to see that on the timeline, and they look like really great on the rise over there down Hillcrest Parkway. 3-0, man. Big one. Thank you, Joe. Yes, sir. All right, when we return, our award-winning Outside the Huddle feature. Stay with us.
Football Fridays on WVUA 23 Sports. Let's go,
Welcome back to Football Friday. I'm Gary Harris. Now it's time for Outside the Huddle, and an inspiring feature tonight on Holy Spirit's Luke Ramos. He's worked to overcome the odds in his quest for something most high school age kids just take for granted: the opportunity to play on a team. Here's Football Friday, Stu McCann.
One of the essential win-win deals during the rebirth of Holy Spirit football was brokered by a teenager, Lila Ramos.
She kind of interrupted me one day. She said, "Well, Coach, I got a younger brother that's a bigger kid, and he's going to the magnet school right now. This is great. This is a great idea."
In many ways, Lila Ramos's brother Luke looks the part. 200 pounds, solid frame. But even with the prototypical size for a high school lineman, there was pause.
Coach, you do know that Lila's brother's got one arm. I mean, if he wants to play ball, we're just going to roll with it.
That response is what makes Luke Ramos and Holy Spirit the perfect union. Ramos was born with only one fully developed hand.
Everybody else has a different reaction to it. Some people think, oh, he's different, I shouldn't be staring at him. And some people, they just don't really realize that they do, but I don't let it bother me.
It didn't take long to realize he means what he says. Ramos is not sensitive to his abnormality.
I'll crack a random joke about my arm, and then they're just like, is he serious? And then I'll start laughing, and everybody else eventually joins in.
Concerns about Ramos's safety, and just as important, his competitive makeup didn't last.
We're playing dodgeball. He's like, okay. Puts that ball under there, gets out there. I mean, not just throwing, I mean, he's beaming people. And so, I mean, I was like, all right, man, we're going to be fine. I mean, it's amazing.
Hey, how's Ramos doing? That's like, he's going to be a dude. How's he doing? How's he not doing? You know what I mean?
In his first year at Holy Spirit in 2002, Ramos played football, baseball, and track.
Nothing stops him. I mean, like I said, shot put, you need one arm, discus. Somebody needs to be bigger than what you're part of. You need to put that team first, and that's what he does.
It's made me a lot happier. I mean, we get to just talk with each other, crack jokes all the time. I mean, it's like a family.
Stories like his are special because we don't always get what we deserve. Whether it was track, baseball, or football, when Ramos got his chance, he got to work.
It was never, okay, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna quit. It's like, what do I have to do to make sure this is who I am for the next 4 years? I wanna be a football player. You know, not a one-arm football player, I wanna be a ball player.
I just kind of play it by ear. I just started off doing whatever I could to sustain a block, and then I've just learned off it. I don't really see my hand as something different. If you're out there, you might as well give it your all.
Battles across the offensive line are as close to hand-to-hand combat as there is in football. It stands to reason that two hands are better than one.
My approach is kind of like I'll hold them with my left hand, and I'll just kind of put my right hand right there with pressure, right where the shoulder pad is. So then it's almost like I'm holding on to it.
It was a block to his right, and he just kind of latched on with his good arm. Once he got his feet under, and you could see it on film, he threw the other one just right up into his shoulder pads, and he's so strong, and it's, you know, the way it's built, like the guy, like it made a difference.
Ramos says his technique is instinct and trial and error. He's working on a new tact, shoulder blocking. But he's not completely on his own. He knows where to go for tips and encouragement.
Motivational Mondays. Even though you have all these overwhelming things and these anxieties and fears and doubts that's all try to crowd you in your mind, focus on the main thing.
He'll start posting things, and it's just like a one-on-one interview, asking him questions.
Former Seattle Seahawks linebacker Shaquem Griffin has a popular Instagram segment called Motivational Mondays, sharing positive stories and lessons. He has an impairment similar to Ramos's.
What he had is he had this type of disease when he was younger, and he had to get his wrist amputated. But even though that happened, I mean, he still went to the NFL.
Ramos is living his dream. His story is not about proving the doubters wrong, that popular let all naysayers know mentality. Luke Ramos wanted in the game for one reason, to be a ball player.
Outstanding. Coming up, Philip Dyson will take us behind enemy lines for an inside look at the ULM Warhawks, plus Rodney Orr's recruiting tales. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Football Friday. The recruiting process has changed over the last 25 years, not just for coaches, but also for media members and recruiting analysts. Access was once granted on a regular basis. That's certainly not the case anymore, as Rodney Orr explains.
25 years ago, you could walk into the football complex, walk up the stairs, and go to a coach's office. Nobody would ask you a word. Back then, I mean, you know, you could just go in and meet the coaches. You could talk to them. And back in those days, they would use you in a way. And what I mean by use, just to give you an example, in 1998, when Alabama went to Arkansas and lost 42-6, the next week they were to play Florida. The night before the game, I'm standing out in front of the football complex. I hear somebody yell my name, turn around, it's Ronnie Cottrell, assistant head coach, recruiting coordinator. He says, look, you got to come up to me to my office. I said, okay. I get up there and he says, Rodney, he said, you know, Arkansas just beat us pretty bad. And he said, it might happen again tomorrow. And he said, what might happen, I'm afraid, is I've got all these guys committed, and I've got several other top-notch guys that want to come to Alabama. But if we get beat badly again, that could really hurt our recruiting class. I need your help. You have to make the people believe that, hey, we're taking steps. This is a process. We're going to be better down the road. You know, we're just getting this thing rolling. We're just getting started. And we really need you to be positive for Alabama.
Good story, Rod. Now it's time for Behind Enemy Lines. Philip Dyson with the inside scoop on Alabama's opponent tomorrow night, the ULM Warhawks, with KTVA Sports Director Zach Richardson.
The Louisiana Monroe Warhawks will travel to Tuscaloosa after a 29-0 victory over St. Francis that West Monroe local Nexstar sports director Zach Richardson called sloppy. ULM is led by former UAB offensive coordinator and Alabama native Brian Vincent.
You're talking about, the game plan and expectations, but to hear him talk a little bit about, the time that he spent, I believe he said 27 years in the state of Alabama, at the high school and collegiate level, and then to, for him to talk about being able to go back into Bryant Stadium, a place that he's never coached in before, but he knows how much pride is taken in Alabama Crimson Tide football.
The Tide, who gave up 230 yards on the ground in a loss versus Florida State, will need to tighten up the screws before this upcoming game, as ULM put up 311 rushing yards, most of which came from feature back Braylon McReynolds.
ULM is a heavy run team. We're going to see them hand the ball off, and you look for, we talk about running back by committee, but you look for that guy that can get the hot hand. Braylon McReynolds is that guy. He's shown that week one with some big explosive runs, but he's been a huge addition to this team. And but really that entire running back room for ULM has been, not just through one game, but through fall camp and through this first week of the season, have shown that they're going to be really that focal point for the offense.
This game will likely be fought in the trenches on both sides of the ball, as the Warhawks front seven are a rowdy bunch with something to prove, led by senior Billy Pullen.
On the defensive side of the ball, I think really the big thing, the big position groups, start with that D-line. The defensive line, I think, always has been kind of the force for the defense. Billy Pullen, a guy who's been back. He's a guy who's been through the trenches. One of those guys, and I say this about the Warhawks in general, they're just kind of this underdog team. They've had this, guys who didn't get the big opportunities that play with this chip on their shoulder. And Billy kind of, for me, is the head of that group.
The last time ULM traveled to Bryant-Denny Stadium was in 2022. Alabama won 63-7, but then Warhawks head coach Terry Bowden joked afterward that Alabama just bought us a weight room, with UA paying ULM over $1.9 million to play the game. Louisiana Monroe will get $1.925 million for tomorrow's game. For Football Friday, I'm Philip Dyson.
And we'll go around the SEC when Football Friday continues. Welcome back to Football Friday. Let's go around the SEC now with Football Friday's J.D. Zaza.
College football is back, and Week 2 looks to be just as chaotic as Week 1. Last week, we saw the Texas Longhorns take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. This week, we get to see their arch rivals face off as the Michigan Wolverines travel to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. These two blue-blood programs have only met once in 1975 when Oklahoma beat Michigan in the Orange Bowl. This year's matchup will feature a highly touted quarterback looking to revive an offense. Oklahoma this offseason completely revamped their offense and decided to get the package deal of quarterback John Mateer and offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle from Washington State. In Mateer's first game for the Sooner faithful, he threw for 392 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Oklahoma is hoping that Mateer can do what former Washington State quarterback Cam Ward did for Miami. Now we head to Lexington, Kentucky for the first matchup between two SEC opponents this year. The Kentucky Wildcats host the Ole Miss Rebels at Kroger Field. Ole Miss will not try to replicate last year, as the Wildcats came into Oxford, Mississippi and upset a top 10 Rebel squad 20-17. This was one of the key losses that kept Ole Miss from going to the college football playoff for the first time in their program's history. This season, it's two completely different teams, but according to Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin, his team still remembers last year.
This is an extremely well-coached team. Somehow, even including the one before we got here, the last 4, I believe, someone said have gone down to the last play of the game. So when it comes to this matchup, it's been a long off season or long season since we played them last. So, need to go up and play better than we did last year.
Finally, we head to Columbia, Missouri for a rivalry renewed as the Kansas Jayhawks take on the Missouri Tigers. The Border War is one of the oldest rivalries in the history of college football. The two teams started playing each other in 1891 and played every year until 2011. Due to Missouri leaving the Big 12 to join the SEC, the rivalry was stopped. Now the rivalry is being renewed. When asked about what it means to get the border war back, Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz says that rivalries are a key factor of college football.
Rivalries are a great thing for college athletics and college football particularly, especially regional rivalries. This one goes back a long ways. The origins of our football name, the Tigers, is based off the militia that was formed to protect Columbia from Kansas. And it's something that our team is very keenly aware of. We understand the implications, the importance to our state.
Missouri just barely leads the border war with a 56-55-9 record. Expect some bad blood when the Jayhawks take that trip one state over to play the Tigers. That'll do it for Around the SEC. For Football Friday, I'm JD Zaza.
Thank you, JD. Of course, we're always concerned about the weather going into a game day weekend, so let's check in with WVUA 23 Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott with your game day forecast.
In those local high school football games, no problems at all. The weather looking good this evening as those games wrap up across West Alabama. Let's check out college football this weekend. Bama taking on Louisiana Monroe at Bryant-Denny, home opener for Saban Field. We got temperatures at that 6:45 kickoff around 81, and there may be still a lingering shower somewhere. Really think about game time. Any chance for storms would be gone. As for the Auburn game, Auburn taking on Ball State down in Jordan-Hare. 6:30 kickoff, another evening game. And like here in Tuscaloosa, I think down in Auburn, the storm should be out of the area by kickoff. Mississippi State Bulldogs taking on Arizona State. That's over in Starkville. 6:30 kickoff. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s and by the fourth quarter in the mid 70s. The risk of rain and thunderstorms also coming to an end. So for most of the games here in the southeast, the weather looking okay, especially for those later evening games to allow those showers and storms to get out of here. If you got things going on, though, for Saturday morning, both in Tuscaloosa and in Auburn and over in Starkville, keep in mind there will be some morning showers and storms a possibility. That's your local forecast update. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate that, Richard. We've got a score update. The Thorsby-Sumter Central score. We didn't have it earlier, but we've got it now. Thorsby beat Sumter Central tonight by the final score of 46-12. Before we close out the show, I want to wish Heather Stacy, production person extraordinaire, also helps out in news and sports as well. Happy birthday, Heather, and I think we may have some sweet treats after the show tonight in honor of Heather. All right, that's going to wind it down. I want to thank our sponsors as well. Presenting sponsor, Alabama Credit Union. Game of the Week sponsor, Watley Health Services. Scoreboard sponsor, Beulah Baptist Church. And Outside the Huddle sponsor, Premier Service Company. A reminder, this weekend we'll have you covered with WVUA 23 News at 10 on Saturday and Sunday night. Sam Holly will be in with your sports tomorrow night, and I'll be live following the Alabama-Louisiana Monroe game with some analysis. So that's going to do it for Football Friday. For all of us here at WVUA 23, have a great weekend, and make sure and tune in for WVUA 23 News at 10 on Saturday and Sunday night. Roll Tide.